Thank you for watching this video from KingswaySoft. Today, I will be introducing the Cassandra components for within the SSIS Productivity Pack product. The SSIS Productivity Pack is a collection of premium SSIS components which enable greater developer productivity and increases the power of SSIS. Using our Cassandra components, we can facilitate integration with Apache Cassandra from within SSIS. As of this recording, the SSIS Productivity Pack offers 3 Cassandra components: Cassandra Connection Manager, Cassandra Source, and Cassandra Destination. The Connection Manager can be used to establish connections with your Apache Cassandra server. The Source component can be used to read or retrieve data from Apache Cassandra, whereas the Destination component can be used to send data to Apache Cassandra. Let's begin by creating our Cassandra Connection Manager. Right-click on the Connection Manager area down below to add a new connection. Select the Cassandra item to add this new Connection Manager. In the Host section, you can add and remove host using the buttons on the right. Next, specify the port to your Cassandra server. The authentication mode is a type of authentication used to access your Cassandra deployment. There are 4 options available: Basic, DSE, Plain, and None. Lastly, we can add our username and password to use for authentication purposes. Let's navigate to the SSL page where we can configure TLS SSL related settings. The Use SSL checkbox specifies if SSL is enabled. By default, SSL is disabled. Server Certificate allows you to specify which server certificates to trust. There are 3 modes: Accept all server certificates, Use CA file, and accept server certificates trusted by the operating system. The Client Certificate section allows you to provide the path and passphrase to the client certificate to use for authentication. Allow Invalid Host Names option should be enabled only for development or testing purposes. This option is not recommended for production environment use, unless for some very specific reasons. If we navigate to the Advanced page, this page contains all possible settings for a Cassandra connection. The description for a selected property will be at the bottom of this page. Before we hit OK, we should test the connection to make sure our information is correct and we can connect successfully. Please note that the Connection Manager that we just created is a package-level Connection Manager. For SSIS 2012 or later, you can create project-level Connection Managers if you right-click the Connection Managers node within the Solution Explorer. Let's begin configuring our data flow task, starting with our Cassandra Source Component by dragging it to the design surface. Double-click to open its editor form. As mentioned before, the Cassandra Source Component is an SSIS data flow pipeline component that can be used to read and retrieve data from Apache Cassandra. Let's select a Cassandra Connection Manager. The Keyspace dropdown shows a list of Cassandra keyspaces available to you. After selecting the keyspace you wish to read from, the Source Table dropdown will be populated with tables for the selected keyspace. The Source Table property is used to generate the command property. You can modify the command afterwards, however, it will be overwritten with a basic command when a new source table is selected. The command text box contains a CQL command sent to Cassandra to retrieve records. You can modify this to filter columns and records. Clicking the Refresh Component button causes the component to retrieve the latest metadata and update each field to its most recent metadata. Navigating to the Columns page, this will show a default list of Cassandra fields that will be retrieved. Let's click OK to finish configuring our source component. For this demonstration, we're going to add a dummy data reader destination component for the purpose of showing you how the data flows from the source to destination components. We can now execute this task. We will now demonstrate writing and sending data to Apache Cassandra using the Destination Component. Let's begin by generating some sample data using our Data Spawner component, which is also a part of our Productivity Pack. Drag the Cassandra Destination Component from the SSIS toolbox to the design surface and connect the two. We'll first need to select the Cassandra Connection Manager. The keyspace dropdown shows a list of Cassandra keyspaces available to you. After selecting the keyspace you wish to write to, the table dropdown will be populated with tables for the selected keyspace. The table property specifies the Cassandra collection you wish to write to. There are 4 available action types: insert, update, upsert, and delete. When async mode is enabled, performance is significantly increased because multiple requests are processed simultaneously. If the input column data is already in JSON format, enable this option. You can send data as JSON for both insert and upsert actions. It's important to note that for the upsert action, you will not be able to specify key fields in the columns page, so updates will be done on the primary key of the table. For update and delete actions, the insert as JSON option will not be available. In today's example, we will select Insert. Heading to the Columns page, we can map columns from upstream components to destination attributes. As you can see, the mapping has already been done for us based on the name match. The last page is the error handling page, where there are 3 error handling mechanisms to choose from. The default option is Fail on Error, where the entire data flow task will fail as soon as an error occurs. There is also the redirect rows to error output, where the error output will contain the failed records with extra columns: error code, error column, error message. There is also a third option, which is to ignore any errors that may have occurred. There is also the Enable Columns for Default Output section, which you can use to enable or disable the additional columns in the Destination Component's default output. The Success Write option is a Boolean value specifying if the record was successfully written to Cassandra. Let's click OK to finish configuring our Destination Component. We can now execute this task. This concludes the demonstration of the Cassandra components within our SSIS Productivity Pack. There are many other components in the SSIS Productivity Pack that enable developers to accomplish more in SSIS in a much more productive fashion. Cassandra is just one of the NoSQL technologies that are supported. The Productivity Pack comes with a few other NoSQL support, including Amazon DynamoDB, MongoDB, and etc. Please feel free to take a look at our other videos available for viewing on our website or YouTube channel. Thank you for watching this video. For any additional questions, please feel free to reach out to us.